guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today is another time to do a reaction video. Yay! So I was reading through all of your comments and I saw your suggestions, and finally we're doing a reaction video to one of the Korean medical dramas that you guys suggested, Dr. Romantic. So I read that this medical TV show was released and created back in 2016, and this is the first time that I will be watching this TV show and the first time that I'll be also watching a medical TV show from Korea. It's the first time and I'm excited to see it. Let's see if it's worth watching. Let's see how it compares to the medical setting here in the Philippines. Enough with the introduction and let's start with watching. Yep. I love the intro. Very... oh, may pa-kiss pa sa end. Why is no one helping him?
불평등의 시대. 불만과 불신으로 가득한 시대.
27, 23분 강원영 씨 사망하셨습니다. 아버지. 아버지.
다행히 수술은 잘 끝났습니다. 의원님께서 무사하십니다.
선생님 감사합니다.
네, 맞습니다. 우리 아버지가 어쩌라는데.
Just wanted to clarify this first because the boy is trying to argue that his father came first. So usually when a patient comes in the emergency room, it should be noted that usually we always prioritize patients who have unstable vital signs or are in unstable condition. In this case, what we can see here is that probably the patient, his dad, had unstable vital signs. As we can see from here, the one that was prioritized first was not the one that had unstable vital signs, where instead the patient that was prioritized first was the senator, which is a political figure. And I don't want to talk about political things here right now, but just wanted to point out that his argument wherein he says that his dad came first shouldn't be what should be in a patient's mind when coming into an emergency room. It should be that the patient should know that doctors prioritize patients who are unstable first.
아저씨랑 상관없잖아요. 착각하지 마라. 분 부리지 마.
Wow, I love how they show that in a really detailed way. The suture was done really well. Everything looks so sterile, even if it's like a bedside procedure. It's very realistic in a sense.
진짜 복수 같은 걸 하고 싶다면 그들보다 나은 인간이 되거라.
I'm guessing this TV show has a lot of
너 말고
other philosophical lessons.
알았니?
Or not just philosophical, but like life lessons that come
네가 바뀌지 않으면
with it, other than the
아무것도
medical
바뀌지 않는다.
things that they bring about in the TV show.
그래봤자 지가 인턴이지.
So now he is an intern. Kang Dong-yu.
싫은데요.
He looks really cute though.
야, 너 어떻게 선배 심부름을 한 번을 안 하고 대기냐?
커피 심부름이나 하자고 인턴 된 거
선배 말도 제대로 안 듣는 게 환자 치료는 제대로 하겠냐?
전혀 다른 범죄 얘기를 같은 맥락인 것처럼 말씀하지 마십시오. 커피 심부름과 환자 치료는 전혀 별개의 문제입니다.
뭐래니?
For an intern, he is a really brave intern. I'm lucky that the hospital I'm working in has a really good relationship with our residents. Like interns, relationships, and clerks have a really good relationship with each other. I mean, there are other hospitals, you know, that they value the hierarchy more than the relationship with their colleagues. And you know, it's a give or take relationship. You're not there to just do all the dirty work. You're actually also there to learn. The residents are also there to help you out, to teach you.
공사장 붕괴 사고입니다. 외상 환자 4명, 2분 뒤 도착이랍니다.
Ang ganda ng ER nila. It's so well equipped.
혈압 맥박 정상이고요. 찰가사
So I just wanted to point out that when a trauma patient comes in, do a primary survey first. So primary survey, that's when we check for the airway, breathing, circulation, and disability of the patient. So it's like ABCD. That's what you want to do first. You want to stabilize the patient. So that's why you do the primary survey. All the other things, the labs, the physical examination, the interview, the history taking, comes after the primary survey, which I mentioned, which is the ABCD. As you can see, she mentioned that the circulation is fine, and that means that there are no points of bleeding, and that is a really good thing. So now they can proceed to the other things that they want to, which is the secondary survey. Other than that, I love how the TV show emphasizes in small descriptions and definitions below. I don't really understand it. They don't have it in English, but it's in Korean, and that's a great thing, especially for audiences who are not in the medical field.
잠깐 좀 와보시.
So what the intern is doing is that he is referring to the resident. Residents are our seniors, so we refer the patient to them, especially when we think something is wrong or we find a derangement in the vital signs or something like that. We refer it right away to the resident. Although usually kapag when we refer to a resident, we'd make sure that it is not a resident who is busy.
패스트는 네거티브, 다른 명확한 블리딩 포커스 없고.
선배님.
이 환자 얼마나 깔려 있었대? 현장 접근이 어려워서 1시간 만에 구조됐대. 야 인턴, 폴리부터 끼워 얼른.
먼저 응급 환자입니다. 만성 폐쇄성 폐질환 히스토리 있고요. 지금
So COPD is a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So it is obstructive inflammation of the lungs, and usually the risk factors include chronic smoking. So for smokers who have been smoking for a very long time, they have a high risk of developing COPD. So if you're a smoker, quit now. Oh my god. That is a penetrating trauma injury.
45세 남자고요. 1m쯤 되는 철근이 복부를 뚫고 나와 있습니다.
She's already referring the patient to
제거하지 못한 콘크리트 가운데가 매달려
consultant or
있는
the fellow,
상태고요.
whoever is more senior than her.
중요해 새끼야.
She's an emergency medicine resident. She's referring it to a surgeon because, you know, patients like this who have a penetrating trauma injury are emergency cases and they need to be operated on right away to get out that foreign object out from their body.
다행히 119 BP는 정상이고요. 레이트 130입니다. 외부로 메시버 블리딩은 없는 상태입니다.
복강내 출혈이 있을 수 있으니까 일단 패스트부터 보고.
So a FAST is a focus assessment sonography in trauma. So it's a rapid bedside ultrasound test to see if there are any bleeding. He's getting the ultrasound machine for the test. Oh my god. Oh my god. Damn! First of all, that's like negligence, you know, you like should really watch out for times like that. Now the patient can bleed. Yep, the patient is bleeding. And I'm sure there were structures that were hit by that object. And the patient can go into shock. What is she doing?
여기 드랩할 거랑 메스 주세요. 네.
너 뭐라 그래?
이 방향이면 대동맥 손상 가능성 있어요. 그럴 시간 없잖아.
지금 여기서 열겠다고?
너 시간 지체하면 복강내 혈액 차오르서 시합보도 안 될 거예요. 일단 최소한으로 전개할게요.
서정아.
메스.
야, 서정아.
꺼지 많이 주세요.
Emergency medicine doctors, you know, technically they should be capable of doing something like this. They have to make sure that the patients are stabilized once they go to the operating room. So in our hospital, it's usually the surgery residents who do these things. When they see a patient, a trauma patient, it will be assigned to them right away. So the emergency medicine doctor made sure the patient could still go into the operating room in order to prevent further bleeding and to control the bleeding.
네, 도착할게요. VP입니다. 이렉줄 차지해주세요.
So they're going to defibrillate the patient.
근데 통보외과 선생님 콜해 놨습니다. 오실 때까지 기다리시는 게. 젊은 남자가 피버 디스니아 있다가 갑자기 심정장거라면 심근염의 가능성이 높아요. 에크모라면 살릴 수 있어. 시간 다
So ECMO is an extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. So it's a form of a machine that helps a person, that works as the heart and the lungs of the person, especially when the person's heart and lungs are not working well. And this is a really expensive, high technology machine. Since this TV show was introduced in 2016. The first ECMO machine that we had in the Philippines was actually in 2018, so that's 2 years later. And the fact that the emergency medicine doctor is the one that's trying to decide to do the ECMO, and I'm guessing the Philippines, it was done by an interventional cardiologist, but it's so high technology in Korea because an emergency doctor is able to do something like that. I think she's just really doing anything and everything that she can in order to save the life of someone, but there are so many things that could go wrong if she doesn't do it right. It should be someone who is more skilled. She could have referred it to a senior, not just, you know, decide quickly right away. It takes years to actually master this skill. I don't know. It looks like she's actually skilled at doing it, or I think she's just relying on luck. But we don't rely on luck on medicine. We take into account so many things before we do a procedure because it's a life and death thing, especially with this patient.
야, 미쳤어? 어? 네가 뭔데 함부로 에크모를 결정을 해? 어? 환자 잘못되면 그 책임을 누구 보지라고?
시술 잘못되지 않았고 현재까지 환자도 잘 버텨주고 있습니다.
Yep, I mentioned there was a really bold and big decision for her to make. Kaya pinapagitan talaga siya ng consultant. You know, you really have to talk to your consultant, especially kapag hindi ikaw yung attending doctor, because the resident is there in the hospital, sila yung trainee, pero yung patient kasi is under an attending doctor. So yun yung nakapangalan under the patient, which is this doctor who's talking to her right now. And kasi if she made a bad, or like if she didn't do a good job on that procedure, affected yung attending mismo.
인정합니다.
Me too, I have little experience as an intern, but I'm learning a lot.
어쨌든 환자는 살았고 우리는 우리 할 일 다 한 거야. 심했어? 그럼 천장이라도 써줄 수 있어.
She's such a brave resident. It's a risky thing for her to do something like that.
너도 무늬만 수제는 아니더라. 어시한 솜씨가 제법이었어.
그랬습니까?
이제 겨우 냉장고에 코끼리 앞발톱 하나 넣은 거.
Their chemistry
있다 있다.
as actors is so good. Oh my gosh. Intern, resident. Just wanted to say that you might wonder if, if this things happens, intern and resident, do they date or do they go on relationships? And I mean, things like this could happen in the hospital, especially because it's a small hospital. Well, this is a big hospital. But if it's a hospital, you see someone, you fall in love, yada, yada, yada. And, interns and residents could have a relationship, a romantic relationship. If mangyari yun, it would be the talk of the town. Like, everyone would talk about you guys because, I mean, like, parang you're an intern and your resident is your senior in a sense. Anyway, so I think I enjoyed pretty much the episode 1 of this TV show, and most likely I would continue watching it. I love how they portrayed every scene in a very realistic way, although the decisions that were made by the emergency doctor resident were very risky, full of consequences in the end. But I'm happy she made the right choice in a sense because she saved the patient's lives. But in a clinical setting. In the real world, it should not be like that. You know, there are other things that you take into consideration when you're making a big decision like that, doing an ECMO and things like that. And I'll be watching the entire TV show. I'm so excited to watch the entire season. And as I mentioned, it's a really good drama. It's a good medical drama in a sense because it not just only has medical themes to venture on, it has also romance. It also has lessons that are mentioned, discrimination in the hospital, stuff like that. And I love how it's incorporated into the TV show itself. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!